see. Wait, okay. See how this looks? Let me frame this a little better for you guys. Oh, I can't do it with that in the background. Oh, bless. Why does there need to be not one, but two pictures of him? Men really like other men, don't they? Like, it's a little bit odd, isn't it? Okay, that's better. Hey guys, sorry, I'm like fiddling with the camera. Hi, I decided that I would come in here because I have the washer going right now and it's just loud. Oh my days, I still look a little bit red. I was crying earlier, as one does as a Pisces. Yeah, I was just reflecting on some stuff and I started to tear up. But I find crying very cathartic. Yeah, get out some emotions. I'm trying not to cry during the video because I've done that. I've cried on the internet and I don't enjoy doing it. It was kind of happy tears at the same time because I have an announcement. Before that, I did mention in my previous video, the H&M haul, that I wanted to sit down and just chat with you guys a little bit. I haven't sat and just, I don't know, like released all of what I'm thinking. I very much am an overthinker. And then I decide that like no one cares, which I also mentioned I need to stop doing that because people do care. I won't leave you hanging. The announcement is, drum roll please. I can't do that. I got a new job. So I just got offered it yesterday and I'll be moving on to my next position. I won't be sharing what I do. As I mentioned before, I did an admin role. I'm no longer in an admin role. And I think that's really good for me. I've been doing it for about 3 years, 2 different jobs in administrative assistant positions, and I'm just burnt out. I'm honestly burnt out on it, and I'd like to do something different. I'd like to expand my knowledge base and see what I'm capable of actually doing and not refill a refrigerator with soda anymore. If I'm being completely honest, I think, you know, because I had always done part-time jobs during college and before that when I was in high school, and they were always in customer service, I really didn't know what to expect with an office job, and I just assumed it was like this professional atmosphere, and it's just like you work really hard, and because they're looking for a candidate like that's so like has that mindset, like every company is different, but my company was specifically looking for this person that's like a go-getter, that like, you know, works so hard and, you know, very meticulous. And then you find out like your daily job tasks are refilling the refrigerator and refilling the printer. So it's, you know, of course I do other things other than that, but it's like those mundane things are honestly what you do, which is very similar to customer service. Sorry, random side note, but yeah, I'm looking to go away from that. So with this next position, I will be doing that. And yeah, I'm excited about it. It's closer to home. I will be working full-time again. You know, Miss Rona came in and I have been working part-time for so long, so long, and the only way I have been making it work is by doing YouTube and then doing sponsorships. And honestly, those have been such a blessing. You guys are such a blessing in my life. That I get to do this as part of my job is unreal. I just thought I would make a couple videos and then it would be over and I would move on to the next hobby, because I kind of go through hobbies pretty quickly. Like, I'll get excited about something, I'll do it, and then I'll be done. Yeah, this has really become like a business, like an actual business. It's all because of you, so thank you. Yeah, I will be working full-time again, and it's kind of bittersweet because I do really like all of my coworkers. I've had such good memories there, but at the same time, I know it's best for me. And there's also some things about the company that I am just kind of tired of. And I think that's important to say because, you know, people have asked me like, what's it like working in an office? Like, I'm still in college, I'm like preparing to work in an office, and what is it like? And while I have made great friendships there, I have also learned about company life at the same time, and there's a lot of like, just honestly BS. They've done things that I'm not happy about. I'm not like, you have to kind of take the good with the bad, but honestly the bad outweighs it at the end of the day. And I'm not going to go into detail, but ultimately they almost made my decision for me to leave because it's just like, what can I do at this point? I have been looking for a new position for what seems like so long. When I was filming my last video, I had done one interview and I was so unsure because honestly, I went on a couple, well, not a couple, just like 2 interviews previously, and they didn't amount to anything. And I was feeling really down on myself. I've realized over this period that I determine a lot of my self-worth over how much I am valued by a company, and it's really creepy and very like just like societal patriarchy feeling that, ooh, it doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel good. I don't know if I'm explaining that correctly, but just kind of the way that American society is just like, you need to work harder and you are only good if you are working 40 to 80 hours a week. Like, just that hustle mentality that is so toxic. I was never expecting that. I was never expecting to have this like feeling of such rejection because I didn't get picked for a job. And it was very surprising and kind of overwhelming. Like, it shocked me. And so when those positions didn't work out, I honestly, like 2 weeks ago, I was in such a different headspace. I was not feeling good about myself. I didn't want to make videos. I didn't want to talk. I didn't want to do anything. I just wanted to lay around on the couch, watch TV, and just barely do anything. It's crazy how much things can change in a 2-week period. And if you are currently looking for a job, I completely understand what you're going through. And I think it's just like, I wish I could go back and tell myself, like, don't compare your work like job to who you are as a person. And like, don't associate those two things, because what you do for work is not who you are. I was getting that mixed up inside of me, and I was like, these companies don't want me, I'm not good enough, like no one's gonna hire me, I'm gonna be stuck at this job for so long. And I just felt like I had no options, and it was a very overwhelming feeling. And as you guys know, I live in this house with my sister, and it just became this feeling of like, I'm a burden. I'm a burden. And I don't want to cry. Okay, it's okay. It's okay. Breathe, Vanessa. So that feeling became so overwhelming that it just morphed into like, no one likes me, no one is my friend, and everyone around me finds me to be a burden. And that feeling just grew inside of me. And and it's hard to say it out loud. Like, even though I know it's not true, even though I know that my family loves me and that my friends love me, and I am like, what job I get in the future is not as important as who I am as a person. Even though I know those things logically in your mind, it doesn't matter. Like, the logic goes away. What I'm trying to say is that that was all consuming. And I actually reached out to one of my coworkers who deals with anxiety, and I felt like we had talked in the past before about other things. Like, she's a really great person and she goes to therapy, and she just kind of like listened. I am so grateful for her. I think it's so important to reach out to somebody, even if you're not so close. Like, people want to listen to you and they want to hear what's going on in your life. And I found it incredibly hard to speak to my sister, and even though we're so close. So reaching out to my coworker was kind of like a stepping stone. It was like easier than to talk to other people. And yeah, it was a really good conversation that we did end up having. Lo and behold, 2 weeks, or like less than 2 weeks later, she ends up getting me a job from the person that she used to work with. You know, it just kind of was like a full circle moment. And I've always had this thing, it's kind of cheesy, but I keep it on my phone, where it's like the background screen and it says, "You are exactly where you need to be." It's like, I'm not somebody who like thinks about quotes all the time, but it's just one of those things that really stuck with me. And whenever like I'm on my phone and I'm trying to distract myself, I'll look at that and I'll see like, you are exactly where you need to be. This is not saying it's predetermined, but I do believe in fate. But yeah, things happen for a reason, and you kind of have to go through those hard things, or I at least feel like I have to go through those hard things to come out the other side a stronger person. And it really sucked. Like, those 2 weeks they felt so long. And this is not just saying that this has all been happening in 2 weeks. This has kind of been building up over the course of a couple months, and then it just got bigger. I'm not trying to say it as this is the happy ending. This is honestly only the beginning of like a new chapter. I think personally, I'm always in my own head. I'm always in my own fantasy land, my own escape from what's going on around me. And it really hurts me when life is actually happening and I can't deal with it. And so I don't know if that makes sense, but I do disconnect. I disconnect from a lot of things in my life. I disconnect from things so that I can protect myself, and it all just caught up with me. It all came to like this realization that I'm not happy where I am. I'm not happy with what I'm doing. I'm not, like, you know what I mean? It was just so real. And I was like, oh fuck. Like, oh, that's not good. You know, I'm not saying that it's completely over now. I'm not saying like magically all of those things are better, but I'm just saying that things are better than they were. And also personally, I'm trying to get to this point where my emotions aren't controlling me. Live my life and not overthink about things and not become over emotional about things, because at the end of the day, it's just not helping me. Yeah, I feel like that's as much as I can really tell you. I've been talking for 18 minutes. But I don't want to focus on the what if situations, but if this job hadn't worked out, I don't know how I would be feeling right now. It's, like I said, rejection is really hard for me, and I was not expecting that. I thought that when I entered the workforce, you know, oh, rejection's just part of it and that's okay. And I would go for job interviews and I wouldn't get it and that would be fine. But honestly, it does affect me a lot more than I thought it would. And just the way that people on social media say like, oh, you know, I don't really care about the haters, like whatever. Those are the same people that are looking up forums about themselves and reading all of the things about people, like reading all the things that people are saying about them that are nasty and are hurting. So, you know, I think putting on this facade of, oh, nothing hurts me and I'm fine and everything's okay isn't going to help me. So I'd rather just be honest with you guys and say, it truly did hurt. And when I didn't get those jobs, and no, it isn't going to be life-ending, the fact that I didn't get them, because you will find a job that wants you, that more than wants you, that is like happy to have you. And, you know, it's just, I guess what I'm trying to say, it's okay. It's okay if you're upset. It is okay if you are upset that you got rejected from a company. That is okay. All of your feelings are completely valid. And I don't think we tell ourselves that enough. I don't think I tell myself that enough. Is what I'm feeling is valid. It is okay. It does not have to be compared to anybody. It does not have to be, you know, better or worse than anyone else. It just has to be me. Okay, please ignore the plane that is going over my house for, it feels like 5 minutes now. But I want to just move on from this feeling of inadequacy or feeling of being a burden, and just, I don't know, just embrace who I am as a true individual. This is why I don't do sit down videos, because I really can't formulate a thought. Like, it sounds so, it's so jumbled in my head a lot of the times that I'm like, God, I should write it out beforehand because this is just a mess. You know, I made a video similar to this almost a year ago, or over a year ago, where I talked about how I couldn't find a job and I had found my current job after that. It kind of throws me for a loop because I am worried that when I end up leaving this position, that I will have this same anxiousness and this same self-doubt in my mind. And I think that's something that I do need to explore further and ultimately break the cycle of this tumultuous, like, toxic thinking. I think last time I was a lot more worried about, you know, like, I don't know what I'm doing, and I still don't know what I'm doing. And from the feedback of that video, a lot of people don't know what they're doing, which really did help. And I want to thank anybody who watched that video and wrote a lovely comment. Made me feel less alone. I truly appreciate that. I'd love to talk to you guys in the comments below this video if you have anything that you'd like to share. I want this to be more of a community where we can just share our thoughts openly, without judgment. It is hard for me to be super vulnerable on the internet. There's a lot of people in my personal life that actually do watch my videos, so if you're watching, hi. Once I start thinking about it, I get nervous. It's weird how I'm so comfortable with talking to strangers, but the fact that I know that some of my personal friends and family watch my videos makes me more uncomfortable. Don't know why. I love you, but it does make me a little bit wary. Now there's somebody leaf blowing. I gotta go. Please leave a comment down below if you'd like, only if you want to. I will talk to you soon. I hope you're having a great day. Sorry about the leaf blower. Okay, bye.